have a game with happy and sad music. When you hear the happy music, play your rhythm sticks, or clap, just as you did before, like this.
Greetings world, we are anonymous. There has been a number of concerns in certain stats brought to our attention about the organization called Autism Speaks. This organization does not speak for me, and here is a sample of why. Autistic individuals do not like Autism Speaks. This is by far the most important item on the list. Before considering supporting any nonprofit organization, it is most important to ensure they are effectively serving and supporting the community they seek to serve. If the majority of people with autism do not feel as though Autism Speaks adequately represents them or serves their needs, it means Autism Speaks does not adequately represent or serve the majority of them. Therefore, this organization does not fulfill its purpose. Period. Autism Speaks does not allocate its funds to directly help people with autism. In Autism Speaks' most recent budget report for the 2017 fiscal year, it spent $15.7 million of the $57.5 million total on family grants, which directly aid families and people with autism. They also spent $23 million on employee compensation, with many of their board members earning six figures. Moreover, most of Autism Speaks' budget goes toward research rather than to direct care. Autism Speaks has a history of not allocating its funds to appropriate research. In fact, its symbol, the puzzle piece, was created as a symbol of its purpose: to find the missing pieces of genetic material to establish a connection with autism and genes. This sort of research is problematic because it is part of seeking a cure for autism and can be interpreted as an attempt at eugenics. Autism Speaks seeks a cure for autism. Autism Speaks declares in its mission statement that it seeks to find a cure for autism. Attempting to cure autism is problematic. At first, it might seem appropriate to find a cure for a disorder that can cause significant social, communication and behavioral challenges. But this perspective is ultimately rooted in ableism and does not embrace the entirety of the experience of autism. Suggesting that a community should be entirely ameliorated does not recognize the truly diverse social, communicative and behavioral circumstances within the community. Moreover, it suggests that the experience of autism is, inherently, a bad one, and people with autism are second-class citizens. That is not the reality. Since Autism Speaks' conception, prenatal testing has been developed for Down syndrome and has caused a decreasing rate of Down syndrome births, despite many families reflecting positively on the experience of raising a child with Down syndrome, proving that this research has the potential to have a dramatic negative impact on the autistic community. Ignoring the cries from the community to remove this from their mission statement, on top of the research surrounding Down syndrome, proves that Autism Speaks is, at worst, apathetic to the possibility of eliminating the community and at best, out of touch with the community's desires. Every advocacy organization's purpose is to serve the population it represents and ensure that this main goal is, in fact, executed. Many organizations will employ members of the population it serves. Autism Speaks does not do this, which means the organization is out of touch with the desires of the autism community. According to the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, there are no autistics on their board of directors. There are no autistics in any of their major decision-making bodies. If Autism Speaks does not even fulfill this base requirement of representation, how can we expect this organization to teach others to treat people with autism like equals if they are not even employable? Paul Robinson was Autism Speaks' highest-ranking autistic employee before he left the Science Advisory Board. Paul Robinson left his post after Suzanne Wright published the op-ed Autism Speaks' Point of View, which contained many messages highly offensive to the autistic community. Paul Robinson describes in his letter of resignation that he chose to leave, not only because of Suzanne Wright's insulting speech, but also because no one would address his repeated concerns about seeking a cure and the lack of representation while he was employed at Autism Speaks. Robinson perfectly summarizes the problems the autistic community has with Autism Speaks with these two quotes: "There is a great diversity in our community. which means we have a very broad range of needs. Unfortunately, the majority of the research Autism Speaks has funded to date does not meet those needs, and the community services are too small a percentage of total budget to be truly meaningful. We have delivered very little value to autistic people. For the many millions raised, Autism Speaks has done a lot of wonderful things. The organization has a lot of fundraising power and the capacity to do a lot of good, but when it destroys support within its own community, it's the most counterproductive thing it can do. It's unfortunate the leadership is out of touch with the community in the language of disability advocacy. Please join us in spreading the word about Autism Speaks and exactly what type of organization it is pretending to be. We are anonymous. We are legion. We sometimes forgive, but never forget. Autism Speaks. Please correct your ways or expect us.